There he is. I don't know, maybe you may know his face, but you know his name for sure. That's Tim McLune. Musician, entertainer, humanitarian, owner of a whole range. What is it 10 McLune restaurants?
We do have 10 restaurants, not all of which are making money, by the way. So
we'll talk about that in a second. Also, Tim, let me do this on a personal note. As someone who goes to a lot of Seton Hall basketball games, you are the voice.
I am the arena voice. That's true.
How long have you been doing that?
I'm not sure, but I think it was in '99. I think that's when I left the Nets and went over to Seton Hall. So I think since 1999, and it's the most fun you can have. The first big time sporting event I ever saw. I'm old enough, as I mentioned, but I went to Ebbets Field and I saw the Dodgers play the Phillies. So I'm that old. But the next thing I ever went to was a Seton Hall basketball game because I grew up in South Orange, and into Old Walsh Gym. I believe the year was 1957 or 58.
Was Richie Regan playing?
Not playing. He was coaching.
He was coaching already.
Not quite yet, actually. It was Honey Russell was the coach then. He was about to retire, and Richie took over.
Yeah, a lot of history. Tim is the PA announcer for those games. All good. Hey, Tim, do us a favor. Jump into this right away. Your restaurants are all over the place. And you said some are making money, some are not. Describe for us from your perspective the state. I know it's a more complex answer than my question. The state of the restaurant industry in the state of New Jersey is?
Well, I think it's healthy. I do think it's healthy. You have to be on your toes now. Things have changed a lot, not because of the pandemic. It had already happened. We're in our 35th year. I think I started 36. 1987, I opened up the Rum Runner in Seabright, and it's still there. It's a new building because Sandy washed it out into the river. Part of the restaurant is still in the river if anyone wants to visit it. But back then there wasn't as much competition. We were one of the first ones actually to put in outside dining because we weren't making it. And I saw all these cars parked on the river looking at the water for whatever reasons. And we put a deck on there and it filled up immediately. So we saw that, but the pandemic did change everything in that there was that period of time for a couple of years when a lot of people were on enhanced unemployment. They weren't working, and they, in some cases, had more money than they'd ever had. And so every night was Saturday. So Tuesday night, what do you want to do? Let's go out to eat. It was crazy. And we actually prospered through that time once we were allowed to go indoors and open the bars up. When the bars were closed, we couldn't make any money. But once they went inside, it was incredible. But now that that's gone away and PPP is all over with and all the rest of it, and unemployment has gone back to its norms, we're back to the norms, which is it's pretty quiet on Monday through Thursday, a little better on Friday, overwhelming on Saturday and Sunday, but we're now 50% weather dependent again, which is where we used to be. Now we're weather dependent, and it's been a rocky. June was rocky, with weather, and lately it's been storms and the rest.
We're taping it toward the end of July 2023. Hey, Tim, real quick, I'm going to do liquor license in just a second, but how important was the government money, particularly federal money, state money as well, during COVID?
Well, there's an old joke that one of the worst things you can hear is that I'm from the government and I'm here to help. But if it hadn't been for PPP, you and I would be talking now about do you really miss being in the restaurant business?
You would have gone out of business, Tim?
We wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have come close. On March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, ironically, I laid off 700 people, including my wife. And
what year? Is it 20? You're talking 21?
Yes. No, 20. It was 20, right?
20, yes.
When the whole thing started.
Yes.
We laid everybody off. And I honestly, I'm the most optimistic person most people would ever leave.
You sure are.
I went into a shell. I couldn't see the path. And if it hadn't been PPP money, there would have been no path. PPP-1 got us to where we could start hiring people back. PPP-2, thank goodness, got us back to where we could start serving outdoors and partially indoors. And then there was another one called the Restaurant Recovery Fund. That was the last. And that was the one that enabled us to get back to full-time and hire everybody back in the whole deal. And thank goodness for it, but the business model has changed dramatically. This is the first time, like we went to our minimum wage in the building now is $16 an hour. You could come in never having even been in a restaurant in your life. You could come in not speaking English. You could come in with any number of reasons, no skills. and you're going to start at $16 an hour. And to be honest with you, I'm happy for it. I regret now not being more alert to the fact that we were exploiting people. We were forcing them into that sort of traditional situation. You're a dishwasher, you're a cleaner, you're cutting lettuce in the back or something, and you're making $8, $9, $10 an hour. So when I leave the restaurant at the end of the night and I go down to the 7-Eleven, I see you, the same person, stuffing newspapers to make it go. It was not possible. Now it's $16 an hour to start. It's something of a living wage. Nobody's getting rich, but it's the first time that the low earners in our industry had leverage.
Tim, shift gears for a second. Liquor licenses. You are not in favor of Governor Murphy's liquor license reform effort. First of all, what is that reform effort? Why are you against it? Because you represent an awful lot of folks in your industry. Please.
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, they're looking to revamp what are always referred to as archaic rules. And it's absolutely true. It goes way back to prohibition.
To get a liquor license. To get a liquor license.
Yeah, well, to get a liquor license. I understand that. The first push, and I agree with this part of it, is that there's a lot of pocket licenses out there. And what that means is that somebody buys a license and then sticks it in their pocket and doesn't use it. And that's in many cases to keep competition down. So one of the things is like, use it or lose it. Okay, you bought a liquor license, you've got 3 years or 5 years to activate it. That makes sense to me. I think the fact that it's, one license per every 3,000 people in a town, okay, or 5, whatever it is, lower that, go ahead. But do not make them ubiquitous where everybody's got a license. And our primary reason is we played by the rules. The very first liquor license I bought in Seabright was $300,000.
What's the $750,000 in Montgomery? You paid $750,000 for the liquor license in Montgomery?
We paid $650 in Asbury Park. And the problem that no one has talked about, and I'm sure that I will manage to get the word to Governor Murphy, is that the banks don't like this. My liquor licenses are pledged against our mortgages. And if those liquor license values go from $750,000 in that case to $20,000, the bank's going to say, you're not keeping up to your agreements, and your loan to value will just change.
We're going to have Tim in another segment. Do me a favor, team. Can we put up Holiday Express, the website? Well, give me 30 seconds on Holiday Express because it is absolutely the best. Please, Tim.
Well, we started in '93, and our goal is that we provide music and entertainment and really what sounds a little bit too much, the gift of human kindness to people. In November and December, if they didn't see us, they would get little or no attention during holiday time. So it's long-term residential psychiatric facilities, homeless shelters, soup kitchens, the like.
It's music, it's entertainment.
Yeah. We have 115 professional musicians. We'll do 100 events between November 6th and December 24th, Christmas Eve. It's our 30th year. It's pretty amazing that we were able to do that so many people, it just touched everybody. And it's the best thing we've all ever done.
And I've seen them many times. Tim, you and your colleagues with Holiday Express doing great work. Hey, my friend, looking forward to seeing you soon down at Prudential, and you're doing great work. Thank you, Tim. See you down the Jersey Shore.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
You got it. I'm Steve Adubato. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the Fidelco Group, Valley Bank, New Jersey Sharing Network, IBEW Local 102, the North Ward Center, the Russell Berry Foundation, Hackensack Meridian Health, and by Prudential Financial. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Globe and by New Jersey Monthly.
How do you create change? By cultivating hope. And we see that every day. In the eyes of our preschoolers, in the souls of the seniors in our Adult Day program, in the minds of the students at Robert Treat Academy, a national Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, in the passion of children in our Youth Leadership Development Program, in our commitment to connections at the Center for Autism, and in the heart of our community, the North Ward Center, creating opportunities for equity, education, and growth.